Good morning, students. Welcome to the online biology classes. Today, we'll be continuing the explanation of the next topic, that is female reproductive system, from chapter number 3. Female reproductive system. The female reproductive system is located in the pelvic region. It includes a pair of ovaries, a pair of oviduct, uterus, cervix, vagina, and external genitalia. So, in this module or in these slides, PowerPoint presentation slides, we are going to understand in detail about these 6 parts. Oviducts, uterus, vagina are the accessory ducts. A pair of mammary gland, that is for nourishing the offsprings or young ones. All parts are integrated structurally and functionally to support the process of ovulation, fertilization, pregnancy, birth, and childcare. Here is the diagrammatic view of human female reproductive system, and that is a sectional view through pelvis. Now we can see this region, which is pinkish in color. You will be finding a small streak in between that pinkish color structure, that is uterus. That is a bag like structure. Just below it you will be finding the urinary bladder. Pubis symphysis, you will be finding one special structure just in front of the urinary bladder, that is pubic symphysis. Then urethra, you will be finding out the urethra, that is the opening of the urinary bladder. Then clitoris, you will be finding a small, very important structure over here, just which is lying below the pubic symphysis. Then labia minora, labia majora, these are the lip-like structures. Then vaginal orifice, this is the opening, that is opening, vaginal opening, which is called as the vaginal orifice. Now this is the anus to pass out the fecal matter. This is vagina. You will be finding this opening, this vaginal orifice, that is vagina. You will be finding here the cervix. Okay, that means the opening through the vaginal orifice is the opening which leads into the uterus through the vagina and cervix. Okay, students. So now we'll be moving to the next slide. Here, see, this is a very common diagrammatic view which has been shown in most of the biology books. This is the sectional view of female reproductive system. You will be finding this bag-like structure which is called as the uterus. Okay, uterine cavity means a small space over here. It's a uterine cavity. Uterine fundus, you will be finding this swollen part at the top, uterine fundus. This is the fallopian tube. You will be finding the parts of the fallopian tube: isthmus, ampulla, infundibulum. This is a funnel shaped structure which is called as infundibulum, ampulla, and this is isthmus. As we have discussed previously in 11th class, we have seen that at the ampullar isthmic junction, only the fertilization or the fusion of the male and the female gamete take place. Somewhere at the junction of the ampulla and isthmus. So it is called as the ampullar isthmic junction of the fallopian tube is the place where the fusion of the male and the female gamete takes place. Now these finger-like projections you will be seeing over here are called as fimbriae. This is the ovary. Now we will be seeing the uterus walls, endometrium wall, then myometrium is the middle one, and perimetrium is the outer one. This is cervix, vagina, cervical canal, and vagina. Okay, sectional view of female reproductive system. Female gonad or ovaries. Ovaries are the primary female sex organs that produce the female gamete, that is ovum. It also produces several female steroid hormones, that is estrogen and progesterone. The ovary is located in the lower abdomen. Each ovary is about 2 to 4 centimeter in length. These are connected to the pelvic wall and uterus by ligaments. Each ovary is covered by thin epithelium which enclose ovarian stroma. Ovarian stroma, two zones, a peripheral cortex and an inner medulla. Means the ovarian stroma, each ovary is covered by thin epithelium which encloses ovarian stroma. Okay, the ovarian stroma is the structure which is being covered by the epithelium. So it in each ovary it is present of the ovarian stroma. The ovarian stroma, that is the inner portion, is having two zones. A is peripheral cortex and an inner medulla. So inner region will be of ovarian stroma, the inner region will be the medulla, and at the periphery is the peripheral cortex. At the peripheral cortex, follicles are present, and in medulla, blood vessels and ovarian ligaments are present. So, inside the medulla, which is the innermost region of the ovarian stroma, where blood vessels are there and the ligaments are there to hold the structure in position. Okay, and the follicles are present in the peripheral cortex, that is the outer region of the stroma. Here we will be seeing the cross-sectional view of an ovary. Most probably in mammalian ovary, we are just having a look into it. Here we can see at the periphery region, as we have discussed in the previous slide, you will be finding the follicles. At the inner portion, that is where you will be finding these small blood vessels, you will be finding here blue color and red color. Probably you can see here in this slide, that is the medullary region, that is the innermost portion. At the periphery, that is at the boundaries, and toward the boundaries, you will be finding the follicles all over here. Let us see, ovarian ligaments are also here in the inner portion. So this is the medullary portion where blood vessels and ovarian ligaments are present. Okay, now you see here primordial follicles are present, which is immature follicles, very small in size, you can see in this diagram. Then you will be finding primary follicles, slightly bigger in size. Then oocyte, it is a place where inside the follicles, a small dot-like structure, you will be finding the oocyte over here. Now this is a secondary follicle, somewhat bigger in size. You will be finding the innermost cell is the secondary follicle. Then you will be finding here, let us come more down. Now you will be finding degenerating corpus luteum, developing corpus luteum, and here you can see after maturing, means these ovules, you can see that the secondary follicles which is have showing oocyte is actually the germ cell which is present inside this structure, that is the follicular structure, inside which is the real thing which we are just looking over here. You will be finding primary, secondary follicle, tertiary follicle, then it will be forming you can see here empty structure over here where ovule has came out. So this is some called as ovulation. Okay, so here the most important structure, that is the ovule, that is being released through this matured follicle, and then it develops corpus luteum. So means the empty follicle which has already released the ovum now becomes corpus luteum. So this is the corpus luteum, and then degenerating corpus luteum, it is getting degenerated after some time. Okay, we'll be moving to the next slide now. Transfer section. TS means transfer section of ovaries, developing follicles in different stages. Primary follicle develop into, okay, developing follicles in different stages. Primary follicle develops into Graafian follicle with mature ovum. One mature around 14th day of menstrual cycle and ruptures to release the oocyte, that is ovulation. In the last slide where we have just seen, this is the mature ovarian follicle, that is called as the Graafian follicle, which releases an ovum at the 14th day of menstrual cycle. One matures about 14th day of cycle and ruptures to release the oocyte. So this all happens at the 14th day when the primary follicles develop into, after continuous maturation process, it develops into the Graafian follicle, and a mature ovum is being released at the 14th day of the menstrual cycle. After release, follicle filled with blood clot and then yellow cells. Okay, so after release, the follicle get filled, that follicle which is now taking the shape of the corpus luteum. Now it is called the corpus luteum. Already released egg from the follicle, that empty follicle is given the name as the corpus luteum, and it get filled with blood clot and then yellow cells. Okay, called corpus luteum. Oviducts, fallopian tubes, uterus and vagina, accessory ducts. So oviducts, fallopian tube, uterus and vagina, that are the accessory ducts in the TS of ovary. we will be just seeing all these things. Here comes again that particular diagram, that is sectional view of female reproductive system, where we have just seen the lining of the uterus walls, endometrium, myometrium, perimetrium, infundibulum, ampulla isthmic junction. So we have just seen in the previous diagram also. Let us move. Accessory ducts: oviduct, uterus, and vagina. These are called as the accessory ducts because in the process of that fertilization, the process of that reproduction, they play a very crucial role in carrying the important things such as ovum, sperm. In the case of male reproductive system, we have seen the vas deferens, vasa efferentia, testicular lobules. Okay, all these sperm ducts, all these things are the duct. So that comes under the accessory ducts, which helps in that particular process. Okay, let us continue. Oviduct or the fallopian tube, 10 to 12 centimeter length from periphery of each ovary to uterus. Part closer to ovary, funnel shape. That is, we have just seen funnel shaped structure here. In this structure where it is written infundibulum and fimbriae. This is the funnel shaped structure. Okay. Infundibulum, edge finger like, edge or finger like, which is called as fimbriae, collects of ovum after ovulation to fimbriae. So after ovulation, this fimbriae collects the ovum. Then ampulla isthmus has narrow lumen and joins uterus. So through the ampullar isthmus that joins into the uterus. At the junction only where you will be finding in the next modules, we will be just seeing how fertilization will take place. Uterus, womb, and vagina. Single uterus present in lower abdomen region, also called womb. Hollow, inverted, pear-shaped, attached to pelvic walls by ligaments. Inside the uterus, fertilized ovum grows and develops into embryo. Opens into vagina through narrow cervix. So it opens into vagina through narrow cervix, as we have discussed in the previous slide only. Opens into vagina through narrow cervix. Here you can see the cervix open into vagina through narrow cervix. So this passage is called the cervix and it opens into the vagina. Okay, so here you will be finding where uterine cavity is written. Over here, a fertilized egg remains over here. It divides and redivides to form embryo and it opens. So we are just talking about it opens. So this uterus opens into outside into vagina through the cervix. Okay, let us move a little bit more further. Cervical canal along with the vagina is called as the birth canal. Cervical canal along with vagina. So let us see where is the cervical canal. Here we can see cervical canal along with the vagina is called as the birth canal. So cervical canal along with vagina are called as the birth canal. The wall of the uterus has 3 layers of tissues: perimetrium, that is the external thin membranous; myometrium, middle thick layer of smooth muscles, strong contraction during delivery. So mostly during the delivery or delivering of the newborn or delivering of a baby, the contraction happens in this myometrium very strong. Very strong contractions are there, and because of that only the mother is feeling pain. Endometrium, inner glandular layer lines uterine cavity. Cyclical changes during menstrual cycle happens in this layer only. Let us move more in the next slide. Mons, pubis, labia majora, labia minora, hymen, clitoris. So these are the external genitalia. External. We have just discussed about the internal organs. Now we are just talking about the externally. What is the external genitalia? That is mons, pubis, the labia majora, to lip-like structure, which is just to the outer portion of that reproductive system, is mons pubis, labia majora, labia minora, hymen, and clitoris. These are the external genitalia. Mons pubis is a pad of fatty tissue covered with hair. Labia majora, fleshy fold of tissue, surrounds the vaginal opening. Labia minora, paired folds of tissue under labia majora. So labia minora is a lip-like structure which is just under the labia majora. Clitoris, tiny finger-like structure, lies at the upper junction of two labia majora. So at the upper junction of two labia majora, at the upper junction you will be just finding a tiny finger-like structure. Okay, that is called as clitoris. Hymen. just inside the opening of the vagina, often torn during the first coitus, that is intercourse. So that is a membrane-like structure which is just present inside the opening of the vagina. At the opening of the vagina, you will be finding a membranous sort of a structure which get ruptured during the first intercourse. The presence or absence of hymen is not a reliable indicator of virginity, because for virginity it has been from ages it has been thought that it is the indicator of the virginity of a girl, but it is nowadays, or we can say that it cannot be the only reliable indicator of virginity, because there are many reasons for the breaking of that hymen, because of the vigorous sports activities, cycling, gymnastics, and other activities, physical activities may lead to the breaking of this hymen. So we cannot take, or we cannot take it for granted that hymen is a reliable indicator of virginity. It is no more the reliable indicator of virginity. Next slide will be just coming. Okay. Now, mammary glands. It is again a very important topic, because these mammary glands are involved in the nourishment of the baby once the baby get delivered out of the body. So these are the paired glandular tissues. Variable amount of fats is present inside it. Glandular tissue. Why? Because the glands are meant for the secretion of something. So glands are the tissue. They come under those type of tissues which get modified for secretion, that we have studied in ninth class, that is glandular tissue, divided into 15 to 20 mammary lobes containing cluster of cells, alveoli. Alveoli secrete milk stored in the lumen. Alveoli opens mammary tubules. Tubes of each lobe join into mammary duct. Many ducts join to form mammary ampulla, which is connected lactiferous duct through which milk sucked out. Okay, so here this is a very important, very important diagram and the topic as per your 12th class exams are concerned. So students, prepare it very nicely and make use of the PPT explanation, the video explanation, and thanks for watching it. Make best use of the video which I have sent to you. Thank you.